Alright, so we're back here to come look at some practice today. So our practice today is going to be really short. We're not going to be going through a huge expansive movements. All we're going to be looking at is overhead pressing and how we're going to do it really, really well and how we're going to make sure that we're doing it well. So like with the other movements we've seen with weights, is we use a blocked tool. So we use a wall or a chair or object around us that forces us to move in a good plane. And it's the same thing that we're going to be doing today with our pressing. So all we need is our object we're pressing overhead. If you found those small dumbbells, that's awesome. If you don't, a bottle of water here is going to be great. It doesn't have to be super heavy. I, luckily enough, do have a dumbbell living in my garage, so I'm going to be demonstrating with using one of these. And the other object we're going to need is a wall. My wall isn't that great. It's my garage door, so it has some lumps and bumps, but I should still be able to demonstrate what I want to get out of a flat wall with this thing here. Okay, so the biggest thing when it comes to shoulders, as you know with a bit of bursitis, misuse or overuse, chronic overuse, can lead to pain coming from the shoulders. So what we want to try and get is the healthiest plane of motion for our shoulders to move through. And for us, the one that avoids the most impingement here through the nerve plexuses that run down past our collarbone is to keep everything nice and tight to our body. Okay, so that means as we press in front of us, we want our elbows down beside us. That means as we press overhead, we want our elbows pointing in front of us. And as we come up to the top of our overhead position, we still want our elbows facing forward. Okay, let me show you what the opposite looks like, and it will be obvious. So if my elbows weren't close here, I'd be in this position here. I'd be pressing up to here. Then from here to push overhead, I'd already be in a flat plane of motion, and my elbows would be flared outside. So what this rotation does is it actually brings our collarbone on top, and it can pinch a few nerves here and aggravate the joint. So what we're going to be doing is learning to press a dumbbell overhead, and we're going to be using this wall to stop us from doing it awfully. Okay? Now, let's go through the shoulder mechanics here with the wall, and then I'll talk about some of the finer points to this thing. So what we're going to be looking at doing is finding our front rack position with one dumbbell. So how this looks, it's right in the middle of that press. I'm going to have one head of the dumbbell, or the end of my water bottle, touching my shoulder, my elbow facing forward across the room, and my hands grabbing it front to back. So I'm not twisted side on like this. I've got it rotated front to back. Okay? Now, one thing I want to have happen is as I press this weight overhead, I want this weight to stay close to my ear. So I'm locking out, standing tall, up and overhead. And then I'm not letting it get too YMCA on me and hanging out the side. So one way we can test this with a bit of a block is by standing with my right hand. So my right foot is going to be against the wall. And all I'm going to do is 5 nice slow presses with my arms starting against the wall. And as I press tall, my dumbbell isn't going to bump into my wall, and I'm in control with it the whole way. Okay? We can see 5 presses on one side, 5 presses on the other. Like the Superman press, we're not machine gunning them, not super fast. This should be slow and steady, and you should be feeling the movement as you're doing it. Okay? So, we've used a side block to get our left to right action happening here, right? Now what we need to look at doing is a bit of forward and back as well. Okay, now forward and back tests 2 things for us. What we're going to be doing is a overhead press, but we're going to have our heels on the wall as we do it, as we press our weight forward, so that we know that the weight isn't travelling all the way out here, and we also know that we're not getting ugly and pushing it all the way back here either. Okay, we want it to travel straight up and down. If you were to drop it, it would land where your heels were. So we're going to be starting with our heels up on the wall. We're going to find that front rack, and the same thing here. With a little bit of pressure with the heels on the wall, we're going to squeeze our weight overhead, keeping our elbow forward. Oh, see what I mean with the garage door? Pushing my weight forward, squeezing tall overhead without my dumbbell coming into contact with that wall. Oh, it's actually bashing the joint of the garage door. Let me do it just to the side a little bit. Heels on the wall, elbows forward, squeezing tall, and then controlling back down. Okay? You'll notice that as I press up, it goes up one way. As it comes down, it's almost like the tape's going in reverse. I don't want it to come up and then do anything crazy on the way back down either. So it's about being really consistent with that movement because we are going to be using it in a workout today. Okay? One other thing you may feel using the wall on your back as you're pressing the weight up, this also is going to test how well we are at controlling our midline. Same thing with the deadlifts. A unneutral spine position, either hunched over or super arched, isn't a good thing when we're loading. Okay? So when we are pressing overhead, the most common fault we see is an arch, which looks like this, as I press overhead. watch this wall does stop. Because if our heels are on the wall, as soon as we start to lean back and we lose that midline position, our shoulder blade is going to hit the wall and push us forward. Okay? Using this block is a great way to teach yourself how to do movement, especially when we can't be there to correct it along the way. Now, for our workout of the day today, or our play today, what we're going to be seeing is a little bit of intensity, and we're also going to be seeing the use of this overhead press. Now, because it's a brand new movement, it wouldn't be wise of us to launch straight into a super high intensity workout using this movement, because our intensity mechanics breaks down. So what we're going to be doing is starting each round with an overhead press, and then building into some more familiar movements for you. That's where we can start to push the intensity up. Okay, so today's workout, we're going to have 4 rounds of, and between each round, we're going to rest for 2 minutes where we can catch our breath. Our goal is, after we've finished our press, is to up the intensity so we can get out of breath. We're thinking like a 16 to 18 out of 20 type of pressure, or a 6 to 8 out of 10. Okay? Let me go through the movements. So, if you've got access to 2 water bottles, we want them to be the exact same weight, or you found 2 dumbbells the same weight, which would be perfect, what we're going to be doing is a dual overhead press, and we're going to be doing 10 of them. Okay, so we're taking our weights up to our shoulders, 2 elbows facing forward, 2 dumbbell heads on our shoulders, 2 brace through the abs. What we can do is 10 presses at the same time. 1, 2, 3. Now you see, I didn't go super fast there because I'm controlling them. If you would like to, you could still come back to that wall and do the presses with your back to the wall. That is great. Okay? A block is only there for when things get out of control. If you're doing your presses perfectly, you'll never hit the wall or the joint in the garage door. Okay? After those 10 presses, then what we're going to look at is 20 of our sit-ups. So our sit-ups that we've done in the last few sessions, those butterfly ones, we put our soles of our feet together, we touch the ground in front of us, then we lean on back, touch the ground overhead. Here we get to use our shoulder momentum to bring ourselves back up to that next sit-up. Okay? After we've had 20 of these sit-ups, we're then going to turn over, and we're going to have 20 of our shoulder taps. So, in our high plank position, brace through the core, we're reaching over, touching opposite shoulders. Now remember, the goal for this here is to stay active through the shoulders, we're pushing the ground away, and also to stay active through the core, so we're tensing the core. So we're not letting ourselves get noodly and dance our way through it. What we want to have happen is a nice controlled tap from side to side. After you finish those 20, then you get to rest for 2 minutes before we go through it 3 more times. The shoulder taps and the sit-ups should really be the place where you can push the intensity and get out of breath. We're aiming to do those 20 unbroken at this point. Okay? We've had a few weeks where we've done them where it's as you feel. Today we're really pushing to get through them, even if it means getting a little bit out of breath. Alright. That is our session in mind to go, and it sounds like we're ready to go rock and roll with it.